So first step was getting dressed, which as you can see, I did. It is just about 4:30 on Monday, whatever date it is. Thursday's Valentine's Day, ha ha ha, what a joke. So, today's 11th, right? 12:30. Oh, I'm sorry, today's Tuesday. See, today's Tuesday, so today's the 12th. 12:34, it's Wednesday, Thursday. I'm going to start with the kitchen, because the kitchen is the easiest thing. Somewhere I can sit over on the couch while I'm cleaning the kitchen, but when I start moving boxes and stuff, he's going to have to go in that crate and scream. I can put on music choice, or I can blast my MP3 player in my ear, one or the other. I bet you no matter how loud I put music choice on, I'll still be able to hear remnants of him screaming in that cage. I can put it in Mum's bedroom. Anyway, I've contracted, didn't have to do my closet, because she took it upon herself to put in those awful contraptions and took out my, and didn't put back runners and took out my, took the easy way out. And I just pile up everything in the living room and my bedroom, but I can't do that. As it stands, I have to actually do the worst room, which is my bedroom, because then I feel claustrophobic, you know what I mean? If I have to clean that. Because that is war zone hit, hurricane hit, however you want to call it, and the woman contractor wouldn't even be able to get in there, and I wouldn't want her to see that disaster anyway. And it's like that because it was all crap in there anyway, and then I haven't been sleeping there, I was sleeping on the couch, but then I was looking for something, so I tore everything apart. Actually, I've been feeling so overwhelmed that food spilled in there. I didn't pick it up. It's probably turned moldy. I'm sure it has. I'm trying. Anyway. Just so you know, people, I didn't complain about these people in my mom's life, these government caregivers, nurses, psychiatrists, people driving her to point, all the crap. I didn't complain about them until that one, because remember, I didn't get along with that one from day one. Now, I complained up a storm to the DMH worker. I did everything right. I didn't know when he said them. I didn't know. I thought that they were all that he was of them, And from the very beginning, I complained to him. I said, we need to set up a meeting. Okay, you set me up with these people. I complained about this bitch 10 months ago, okay, from ongoing, and we need to know, my mom and I need to know the rules, we can't just be left floundering, we don't know anything, and I'm being, it's mind-blowing to me. The meeting never materialized, but I never complained the way that I did until even when it was between me and her, it was when she crossed the line. I felt completely justified and never imagined in a million years it would land elder services on my mom's doorstep. That shows me that they're just out of control on a power trip. They act like this bitch when I was saying, she was like, saying stuff to me like, I don't do this for the money, during that horrible phone call, I don't do this for money, and oh my God, you guys are in my mom's life. You're condemning me for protecting her, for overseeing, for questioning you. You act like you can't possibly make a mistake. Meanwhile, medical errors, to my recollection, John Rappaport taught me this, and I believe it's like account for 1/3 of all deaths and injuries in the United States. I mean, medical errors are top of the list. Sergeants can make medical errors, let alone you guys. I have trained my mom. That's why I'm training my mom. You need to pay attention to your meds, but I trust them, Laura. You don't trust shit. You don't trust anyone, Mom. People make mistakes all the time. People wind up dead from medical errors, okay, including with medication. I'm condemned. They don't want to be questioned. I mean, it's unreal to me. You're condemning me for caring enough about my mom to question you, and yeah, there might be mistakes made or misunderstandings or whatever. I'm used to taking care of my mom, and there's all these other, you know, and you're gonna fucking condemn me, put me down, and but I didn't complain and write letters and whatnot until that bitch crossed the line. And of course, after I'd already explained to you, the whole dynamics changed, but I just want you to know I didn't. When I knew that they had messed up my mom's meds, and I complained about it, I was told by the nurse, you need to talk to the manager, you know, their boss. That's fine. But again, this one was leading me to believe that it was a new person that did my mom's, you know what I mean? But that's not what I got from the bitch later on. She starts making all kinds of excuses, saying we didn't do it, and I can't get a word in edgewise. She talks at me, puts me on the defensive like she's done from day one. I bravely, because remember I told you this woman takes over and has never introduced herself to me, nothing. I call up, let me speak to so-and-so, I'm supposed to speak to so-and-so. I'm told by the person who answers the phone, she doesn't want to talk to you, we're getting your mom a home nurse. That's the solution to me complaining that, you know, I know you're human, but I have a right to say that it happened, and, you know, and no. The solution is we're getting your mom a home nurse, which I knew probably wouldn't work out. It turned out I was right, but as I told you, I was made to feel, I was lied about, made to feel like shit, and accused of trying to talk my mom out of it when I'd never mentioned a word to it, because I felt like they came to me first to run it by me without, and I respected them enough to let them talk to my mom first. I didn't say a word to my mom, but I'm accused that I did. One of many false accusations the bitch made against me. And what recourse do I have since I didn't record the call? The Twilight Zone call where I'm like, I don't believe this. What is this? My mom signed her life away to these people and there's no escape. There's no escape. No escape. No escape. Holy shit. Why do you think, before the shit hit the fan yesterday, I was saying, you know, I might as well just walk away. And my mom can have her friends and no conflict, and, you know, I can't deal with this. I'm the bad guy. Do you think they tried to talk her out of going, you know, or going out to the bar, or to going into the Patriots Parade, or blowing off her heart special appointment? No. And then, you know, the bitch was here in my house when she wasn't supposed to be, because my mom, you know, needs help inside with her stuff. And I heard her say, have a nice time tonight, to my mom. And then when my mom saw her primary care, I'm the bad guy. My mom saw me for her primary care physician. He's like, oh, it's no big deal. Blow off the heart special appointment. Just reschedule it. No big deal. So I'm the bad guy. So if I'm going to be the bad guy, you know, I haven't heard from my mom. I might not. It's her right to not want anything to do with me. It's happened before. But the world's going to know the truth. If in the end all I have is this, then that's all I have, you know? Because this is unreal. Remember, I hadn't been talking to Selena for a while, so when I did talk to her, it was after the fact, and I got her caught up to speed of what had been going on, including a whole bunch of things I'm not saying out here. And she was like, holy shit. You know? I know, it's unreal. You always got to keep that in mind. There's so much more to say. I'm saying this much and there's this much, see? It's unreal. Imagine how I felt. I'm told I need to discuss it with the boss, who never bothered to introduce herself to me or just whatever. Remember, she comes new and but one who can't stand me, blah, 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 blah. They don't respect me, and, you know. Meanwhile, the old boss respected me enough and cared enough to listen to me cry my heart out about my mom's landlord for 45 minutes straight. And not only that, offered to intervene, offered to do, and I said, no, that'll just, backlash will go on my mom. We can't do that. She was just going to go over the landlord's head and have someone come over there and look at the dryer. No, we can't do that. It'll all fall on my poor mom. You know, she needs to get along with the landlord, and she, you know. But the fact is, juxtapose that one to the new one. I call up bravely to talk to her and explain, and I'm told, oh, she doesn't want to talk to you. The solution is we're getting your mom a home nurse. And then I'm later accused of trying to talk my mom out of getting a home nurse when she wasn't eligible for home nurse. In the end, it was all for nothing. It was all for fucking nothing. I suspected that, but let them go through their little process. I knew it wasn't going to work out. That's the solution. I complained, so we're getting your mom a home nurse. I mean, so you guys get to come in my mom's life, and I'm not allowed to say word one to you, question anything you do, or it's, oh my God, how dare you. That's sickening to me. You understand? It is so sickening. It's like, I don't matter. She doesn't want to talk to you. She says, tell you we're getting your mom a home nurse. And then, of course, they were upset that didn't work out. But I knew it wasn't going to. My mom's insurance is not going to pay when my mom is not bedridden, homebound for a fucking nightly, daily, every single day nurse. She's not going to. Every time I was forced to talk to that fucking bitch, she put me on the defensive, talked at me and everything, every single time over the past 10 months. Only her, by the way, but it doesn't matter. It's like my aunt in our family. She's the aggressive one. I got it. Believe me. If they're nice to me and she's not, and she takes control, and they're not gonna, they bow down to her, even though she's not management, she's just, you know, like my aunt in our family. I got that sense so much from her. And they're not going to stand up to her and whatever. Not going to. They're an octopus with tentacles. That's all they are. And the proof of that, my poor mother was brave enough to pour her, you know, but again, it's because my mom forgets things, and because she just, you know, it seems like it's just coming from me, that I am putting words in my mom's mouth, and there's no problem. That's why I say I should walk away. Seriously, I don't matter at all. I'm treated like fucking shit, condescending, patronizing, talking at me. And then this one, who is actually one that I had liked all, you know, but whatever. I have the nerve to complain about one of their own, and that's it. It's just like policemen stick together. Same fucking thing. My poor mom had been brave enough to approach and tell the new nurse that my mom really liked and I had liked, until she showed her true colors, not surprisingly. And her feelings were negated. And not only that, with her feelings negated, later I have to have my mom say that so-and-so said to my mom about the one that my mom had complained about and I had complained about. You like so-and-so, don't you, Samantha? And my mom retorted, oh yeah, I like so-and-so just fine. What is my mom supposed to say? I know I repeated myself in the other video, but I'm making a point. There's no escaping them. I'm not allowed to question anything they do. If my mom tries, she's just a little, she's mentally ill, she is, you know what I mean, and I'm negated, and that's it, and how dare you question anything, and there we have it. There's nowhere to turn. And now it's too late. Even their fucking boss refused to talk to me when I was having the nerve to say that I know my mom's meds were messed up. Remember, later the bitch said that was impossible. No, it wasn't, but you won't let me talk. You won't let me explain where you're wrong. Trying to say it's leftover meds from when, or something to do with when my mom went in the hospital that day. No. That was 2 weeks ago. You fill her meds once a week, bitch, but she wouldn't let me get a word in edgewise. If you fill her meds once a week, it's already been taken care of that following week. It can't have gone back 2 weeks. It's every, you know, but you can't talk to her. She talks to me like I'm a friggin' whatever. I mean, I'm in the bathroom because I want to get away from her. The receptionist had told me that my mom would be this long, okay? And I have to be scolded by this bitch who I've hated for months, because every time I talk to her on the phone, she treats me like crap. She gets her little digs in. She gets her little whatever, okay? And of course, my heart sank when I'm all flustered and I have to, you know, it's her sitting in the waiting room. It's her. I don't want to talk to her. I don't want to be near her. And this was before any shit hit the fan. This was before, you know what I mean? This was just the ongoing with me and her. I can't stand her, and she's there, and you know, so I didn't acknowledge her. I went straight to the receptionist. Is the person who drove my mom here, and she goes, yeah, she's sitting over there. I looked and knew who it was. I said, where's your bathroom? I need to use the bathroom. When did when will my mom get out? And then apparently my mom had been taken in early and nobody had communicated that with me, but whatever. The fact is, when I get scolded coming out of the bathroom, you were in that bathroom over 20 minutes, or 20 minutes, we were waiting for you. You weren't waiting for me. My mom told me, because you wouldn't wait for me. When my mom came out, you went and got me. So you're waiting maybe a minute. And then Selena's like, I would have gone off on the woman. I can't. My hands, I can't do that. As it was, you know, because I was upset with my mom, because she, you know, I already told her, so I'm not going to get into it, but the that bitch later said, you were screaming at your mom. I wasn't screaming at her, and she knew I wasn't, and then she immediately backed down. She goes, well, you berated her. Yeah, you're right. we're mother and daughter, and I put that note in her purse and said, don't take it out. It's simple instructions. This is important to me. I'm trying to protect you, trying to get their help. But to her, it's like, why are you even asking for our help? But meanwhile, flash back to when the manager didn't make me feel like shit. She talked to me for 45 minutes for asking for help with the landlord. See? Well, this was something different. You're in my mom's life. I think you care about her. I thought I could ask your opinion or whatnot. You made me feel like shit. Like you always do. But you know damn well she ran back to all her coworkers and they had their little meetings and she didn't say what she did to me. All she did was, you know, what they would do. She made it so that you know, she didn't say anything that she took part. She geared it all towards that I upset my mom in the dentist and I this and I that, and she would never even dream of saying what part she played. You get it? That's what I'm dealing with here. And there's no escape and there's no solution, and I'm saying, if I had told you all this all along, and now it's too late, because if they sent elder service to her door when she was well, and even her primary care physician backed up that she was perfectly fine, what the fuck are they gonna do if she's not fine? No recourse, nowhere to turn, no escape from these people. And then I have to hear my sick mom calling them her friends. But I'm supposed to remain unaffected and cook and clean and never lose my cool with my mom whatsoever, even if she doesn't let me sleep and screams and yells when I'm trying to sleep in my closet with the earplugs in, and with Omar, just so I can have some peace, and et cetera, and I can't stop her from doing anything. Cook and clean and help her with all the things she constantly needs help with. But God help me if I get upset with her over anything. I'm abusing her. And her friends are so nice to her. Again, the friends are the government employees paid to be her, you know. And I just see the speeding train coming. I warned my mom the other day when I know she says she's going to the mall by herself and all that, and I said, Mom, you're headed towards the hospital, you're going to wind up in the hospital, and I'm trying to get that in her brain so if it happens, she'll be thinking about it and not be, you know, I'm all you have. These people are not your friends, you can't trust them, and of course she's loving them. One of them said, she goes, oh, she said it's fine that I went into the Boston parade, but it's just because you had my phone, but you don't tell people it wasn't my fault, even 1 ounce iota my fault I had your phone, okay? It wasn't my fault. But you're just going to say that I had your phone, see? Just like I gave you the other example. She's going to say I refused to open up her pain medication and omit the fact that I was sound asleep and it was 2 in the morning and she didn't ask me to open it hours and hours before, and you know what I mean? And she just thinks she needs it. If she needed it so badly, she would have made, you know, get it to her in her brain. Well, the doctor says I should take it every 6 to 8 hours, but you should take it as needed, Mom. If you don't really need it, you don't. Yeah, he says I need to take it. Then she's taunting me. I know the doctor didn't say this, but Mom was taunting me. He says it's more important that I take this than I take my psychiatric medication, and you know what I mean? But again, I'm sound asleep with earplugs, and I just gone to bed an hour before, and she just gone to bed 2 hours before, and she's up, turning on this light, shining into my eyes, and yelling for me to open that. But does she tell anybody that? No, she refused. You get it? She won't open my stuff. So that's what I'm dealing with here. All right? That's what kind of shit I'm dealing with. She omits things that are very important in their stories she's telling to try to elicit sympathy. All right? To act like she does nothing wrong and I'm always the bad guy. And they're not going to tell her not to do anything or whatnot. They know, I mean, they're not going to. They're just going to watch it all play out, and then they're going to swoop in when what happened yesterday happened. See? I'm the bad guy in her eyes because they're nice to me and they you know what I mean? That's what I have to hear. And they're my friends, and I don't want to hear you saying anything bad about insert the name of the bitch who we've had conflict from day one. And even when I tried to make amends, and she's the one who went off on, you know, and I'm apologizing in the letter. Started with, I'm sorry that I was so long in the bathroom. Publicly scolding me. I was so taken aback and in shock. I know the reception. I don't know if there were other people in the waiting room. They probably were. I don't know. But you know, she ran back and told, and you know, the story was whatever that word is. When someone tells a story, but they're going to make sure it's going to reflect really good on them and put you in a bad light. The story was I can't think of what you say about that. You know that's what she did, though. She certainly didn't say, I went off on Laura when she got out of the bathroom. Or I scolded her like a fucking child publicly in the middle of the dentist waiting room. No, she's just going to say I was upset with my mom over nothing because I shouldn't be asking for their help even though they're in my mom's life like this. I don't know where they end and she begins, like I told the primary care physician, but God help me if I ask for their help. She's like, I didn't want to tell her at all, but she's forcing me and making a scene and my mom's like, well, later she apologized she apologized to you for upsetting you, Mom, but then she runs and says what spins the tale. She's going to spin the tale in a great light on her. She's going to spin that tale any way she wants. She sure as hell isn't going to tell the truth. Unlike me, who tells the truth. Yes, I was hiding from her in the bathroom. I was too long in the bathroom because I was told by the reception, my mom, I had plenty of time and I didn't. I'm not a mission, you know, but I was publicly scolded and I can't do anything back. Can't upset my mom, can't, you know what I mean? I can't. You're in that bathroom over 20 minutes. We were waiting for you. Are you fucking kidding me? You're timing how long I'm in the bathroom. Anyone could knock on the door and come get me if they needed to use, knock on the door if they needed to use the bathroom. Nobody knocked. And like I said, I lost track of time. I was hiding from her, admittedly. I didn't scream at my mom, but the thing with the bed frame, and then she's all condescending and patronizing. We don't handle your mom's money, Laura. You know, if you want us to handle your mom's money, then we can look into a handyman for the. Oh my God, I'm such a fucking fool. I am such a goddamn naive fucking fool to have ever trusted you motherfuckers even one iota. That's on me, my bad. I might not hear from my mom. That's her choice. They're supposed to call me, they put in, but you know, I was supposed to be called before and told where she was sent and they forgot to do it, you know. You put in the thing, they told them, but they might forget to tell me. And then, you know, when you call the regular hospital, they can't tell you because of HIPAA. Once she's already been sent somewhere else, that hospital up there, she's gone, she's not there anymore, and they can't tell you shit. But I guess I've been told before they can call me and tell me she's being sent this here, you know. But if they forget to do it, I have to just wait to hear from her. And if I don't hear from her because she hates me, well, what are you going to do? I mean, as I've been saying forever, this is all I have. Telling the world. In the end, and that's the way it goes. I know the truth. I have my mom's voice on voicemails, on recordings, saying negative things against these people she refers to as her friends. And I have my mom in voice saying, you know, that she wants me to get a lawyer, and you know what I mean? So I know the truth. It's just never enough time when it's touch and go with my mom. You know? You can't just rush and get any fucking lawyer. You're going to be paying them a lot of money, and you know, you have to be careful. And I tried, and the ones I liked were too busy, and you know, but I did try, and I have proof that I tried. My mom can't do any of that on her own. It all falls on my shoulders. Just like she can't clean this place, or she couldn't get that whole free $13,000 bathroom. But I did all of it. But I deserve nothing good in this life, not even my own mom. If I lose my cool ever with my mom and raise my voice at all, even if she wants to, you know, do something that's endangering her or just irresponsible or whatever, and she's not listening to me, and I'm gonna be going and shitting in the toilet because I'm so anxious that she just will not listen to reason. Like I said in those first videos, it's like being held hostage by a 2-year-old. You cannot talk the sense into her. You can beg and plead that you're sick, please leave me alone, you know what I mean? And you know, I'm human, I'm not a fucking robot. Shouldn't wear shorts anymore and sit down because she doesn't know when you're going to jump up and you put welts on her legs. Everything was fine as long as my mom didn't get sectioned to a mental hospital. I swore months ago. I told Selena Joe, if my mom gets put into a mental hospital when there is this fucking never resolved ongoing conflict between me and these people, and she can't deal with it, and etc., and she calls them her friends, and I'm the enemy for saying anything bad against them, then then that's it. It's done. It's over with. And what's that word? I'm revealing everything. Oh, all bets are off. I'm revealing everything out here. And I'm one step away from doing that. It's the final piece of the puzzle that I'm not saying. But then it all falls into place, people. And it's just unreal. Unreal to me. Unreal. There's just every direction. There's no escape. There's no escape. She signed her fucking life away. Unknowingly. You know, on my part as well, unknowingly. I liked her DMH worker. I trusted him. You know, and this was the best thing. And I had no idea what it would lead to. Neither did my mom. We had not a clue. Signed her life away. It's too late. Nothing we can do. I can do unless the universe sees fit to send someone genuine and sincere who understands and can help me. There's no fucking way in hell I can do this alone. So, that being said, I'm going to do what I can do, which is get this fucking place clean and get organized all the letters I saved copies of that I sent out over the months, you know, to the DMH worker and the primary care physician saying what's going on and et cetera, including the one that I was supposed to send and misplaced. Remember, it all got chaos when my mom moved in here and a week early and I wasn't ready, and then I'm dealing with that contracting, trying to, all at the same fucking time. You know, I am one person. Like I said, I still need to sleep and you know, I need to, I wrote a really good letter, typed it up to the primary care physician after he was the only one who would tell us the truth about why Eldersource has been called. He still didn't know who, but we know who. Come on, Mom. Wake the fuck up. But you can't reason with her. Cognitive dissonance. They're nice to her. She can't deal with it because she can't get away from them. So she's like a kidnapping victim, and I'm left just out in the cold because my mom will throw me under the bus. Don't you say anything bad about my friends. I'd actually forgotten about that and all the chaos. Because remember before when I told you it was touch and go here. But it's also been touch and go more than on one occasion where she lived in the apartment and wasn't even living here, okay? Forgot about that. I'm supposed to send that. I never did. I misplaced it. I took the time to write it, handwrite it, and to type it up. And it was pouring my heart out, telling this primary care physician everything that I couldn't say in that visit, but I could say enough to give him an idea. He wants to know why Eldersource is being called when my mom's fine. And I gave him a whole long list of what these people had been doing. And then I was supposed to send it and didn't. I forgot all about that. I was supposed to send it and didn't. And send a copy of the DMH worker. I did, and I still can. Just put in the headline, attach a piece of paper. I meant to send this to you before the shit hit the fan, but, you know, better late than never. Forgotten about that. I misplaced it. That's why I never sent it. I need to send it certified. I laughed, non-laughing. You know, when my mom ever said to me that woman, and it was one that prior to everything I used to talk to, and she was nice, and she would tell me times when they thought my mom was going to be hospitalized, my mom was living in her apartment, and I cried, and then it wound up not happening, and you know, and then she has to go and say to my mom, "You like so-and-so, don't you?" And then my mom retorts back, what's she going to say? No? Bitch, what is she going to say? No? That's why I say even the nice ones, they're all the octopus with the tentacles, and I see all through them now. God help me that I complained about one of them. That's it for me. And if this has a word, what's gone on when I explain to you, then you tell me what the word is. I'm sure there's some word for it. You like so-and-so, don't you? Because they knew that I had said that she was unhappy with them, and she did try to explain and complain to the nice one. I said, and then she has to hear you like so-and-so. What is she supposed to do? They all own her fucking ass. You know? Not literally. They act like they're her guardians when they're not, but it doesn't matter. You understand? I'm shut out, and that's all she wrote. And Joe says you don't have any, and you have no idea what they're saying and how they're brainwashing your sick, mom, you mentally behind the scenes, Laura. I know. I know what my mom tells me, but there definitely could be things she doesn't want to tell me because she knows that they will just really upset me. She's told me enough, and I've documented it. What more can I do? What more could I do? Documented everything. What it's worth nothing, right? That's what I'm seeing, worth absolutely nothing. Because I don't matter. You like so-and-so, don't you, Samantha? Oh yeah, I like so-and-so just fine. We sing together, and that's all that woman needed to run back and say, it's all coming from the daughter. I got it from Samantha. She likes so-and-so. She has no problem. Oh my God, this must have a word. If you guys can tell me what the word is that describes this whole scenario, please do so. Please tell me what the word is. It has to have a word in this life because it's unreal to me. It's unreal. Unreal to me. Why I said all bets are off. This is all I have, all I've ever had in this life is my lifelong ability to write and communicate in an articulate manner, to convey my thoughts and feelings in an articulate manner. It's a lifelong gift, okay? And it's all that I fucking have in this life when I am, I'm all alone and trying to fight this giant monster alone. It's impossible. It's impossible. Possible. Especially when my mom's illness causes her to whatever at every turn to prevent me. You know what I mean? Her illness it's impossible for me to fight this monster alone, especially when my mom is what's the word? Something me at every turn. They're her friends. They're her friends, people. I'm the enemy and they're her friends. But of course, in my mom's delusional brain, I say, okay, Mom, then Omer and I will move out. I don't want you to move out. I know. You don't want me to move out, but you want me to stay under these conditions where I have to play nice with people I know have ulterior motives, and you refer them to them as friends, and you trust them, and you reveal personal info about me and our plans, and I can't do it. I can't fucking do it, Mama. I love you, but I can't live under these conditions. That word when somebody's obstacle at every, I can't fight the monster alone, and then my mom is something at every turn. There's a word for that too. She's something me at every turn, not blocking me at every turn. That's not quite the right word. When you're trying to do something and you know, and again, it's her illness that's doing it, but it doesn't matter if it's her illness, it's still happening, it's still fucking really seriously affecting me, even jeopardizing my health. And again, haven't heard a peep from my mom. Haven't heard a peep. And I'm not contacting her. In these situations, when I know it's better that I don't, it's better if I wait till she contacts me, and she might not. She might not. You were in that bathroom every 20 minutes. We were waiting for you. Fuck you, bitch. Told you what Selena said she would have said, but you know, I'm not allowed. I can't say anything. She would have said I was waiting for you to wipe my ass, bitch. Kitchen was easily clean. I clean the kitchen all the time. Oh. I never say anything to her, and you don't have to believe me. It doesn't matter, because I don't. Because when I get upset with her, it's when she's just pushing and pushing and pushing and won't let me sleep, things like that. But she only does when she's sick. But it's very interesting to me that when she's in her own apartment, she keeps stuff clean. Because remember, I would visit her and whatnot. But here, she never picks up her, ever. I always have to clean up after her. And I do it. I don't say anything, you know. But then, like I was sarcastically saying to Joe and Selena when I get all upset with my mom, it's like, you didn't get me my smartphone, you didn't get me Christmas presents. I'm like, oh my God, I'm only good for cooking and cleaning and helping with the things she constantly needs help with. She, you know, she has no appreciation for all the things that I do to her, and then I got her that bathroom, and then I'm, you know. Constantly do stuff. She's just being selfish. Always like, yeah, it's her illness, but it still makes me feel like a piece of shit. How do you think it made me feel the other night? She's going out to have a good time or whatever when she knows I don't want her there, and I asked her not to go, but she's not going to respect that. She has every right to go in her eyes, and you know, even if I don't want her there, and then she wants to demand that I go an hour and a half early with her, and then I hope you get hit by a car and die, and she screamed it at me. So that's the beginning of, you know, I knew she was going to ruin my night, but then I didn't let her, and how did I stop her? Well, I put it to the back of my mind, I drank, I danced like a slut a couple times, and I just, you know, I pretended that everything was fine when it wasn't. And I actually had a fantastic time. But it's a one-time thing, you know. That's the beginning. beginning of my night that I looked forward to. You know, I have to have my mom bugging me, and I wanted to leave and go and get my drinks and, you know, my cheap drinks. I could drink cheaply before I go there to drink, you know, much more expensively. And I told you I wouldn't go with her. I told her many times I wasn't going with her, and I wouldn't give her my hat because she can use her own hat. I don't care if she doesn't like it. I want my own hat. I bought the hat. It's my hat. I don't like your stupid yellow hat, okay? Probably for the same reasons you don't like it. It's too tight, but that's tough shit. I'm walking. You're going right into the taxi window. And I don't want my bun to get wet. It's not even raining. And then when I wouldn't give her the hat, when I took it off of her head, she screamed. You know, it's like, I hope you get hit by a car and die! And that was, she goes on her merry way. And she can laugh and be at the bar and nothing, and to her it's like, what, you know, and then when I mentioned it to her, she's like, oh, you keep bringing that up. She's like, I didn't mean it. Yeah, but you still said it, you know. I didn't bring it up at the bar. I brought it up the next day when I had to hear her say, if you weren't so paranoid, we could have gone home with so-and-so. Now, can you say, well, did you think she was going to wind up in the hospital? No, because she's not even as bad off as she's been recently, even before, a few months ago, before we went to the hotel, and she didn't wind up in the hospital. She snapped out of it. No, I didn't think she was going to wind up in the hospital. And I didn't want her to wind up in the hospital, but I said, you know, me and Omar got to leave. You treated me like shit. You have no appreciation for all the things that I do, and I can't take it. And then she winds up in the hospital, and I'm a basket case, and I'm broken, and I'm barely functioning, and the whole 9 yards. Church woman didn't think before we knew how serious it was, because we didn't. She's like, oh, it's just like before, Laura. I was just with her yesterday. She's all right. You just call him up, tell him she gets confused. This is when I thought that I would have a say. There was no say. This was a different situation. It was a done deal. She was already sectioned before she even got there. Talking to crisis was just a formality. You know, this is different. Whatever happened at that mall, no one's going to tell me. You know. It had to have been bad, though. And I can imagine. I'm sure she just is like, what the hell? Why is this happening to me again? And you know, I'm sure whatever. And again, she was on no sleep, and I'm sure she got coffee that would have her wired, and she's, again, you get it, but I'm sure it's also definitely exaggerated. Because the church woman's right. She was with her all day the day before, and she was like, I've seen your mom way worse than this. I know. But you put her in that environment, and any of us, even if we're not my mom, I know how I would react. But it wouldn't be happening to me, but let's pretend it is. It's in a nightmare I'm having at night. You know? It's scary as hell. But different things happen. If she withdraws, if she goes into her fantasy world, then that's it. That's what happened that last time. When she was in that awful hospital, I told you. I didn't even know it. My mom was totally out of it when she went in there, okay? Which I knew she needed to be hospitalized. I didn't get her hospitalized, but I kind of tricked her to go for medical reasons, and then they kept her, and I knew that was going to happen. There's no way it wasn't, okay? And then the motherfucker gets her in there, and puts her on a medication. She not only, like I said, when I did my research, that was not what you should put. My mom's age was never been on the drug on a starting dosage of sickening. Just add insult to injury, but why am I surprised? It happens every time in this motherfucking place where she's probably headed right now. Because they're only the ones who ever have the open bed. And I left it up to fate. I did the one thing I have control over for my mom, by the way. I said, and it buys time, I don't want her sent to this one or this one. And she could tell that I have valid reasons. And I explained the valid reasons best I could. But in the end, it just bought time. It gives her more time in the regular hospital, which is a good thing because it gives her a chance sometimes to calm down a little bit before she's sent off to the mental hospital, because sometimes you can be sent immediately when you're, but whatever. This was a little over a year ago, before the gallbladder surgery or whatever, okay? Stuff I never told you. Or I might have told you, and I don't remember, or I told you in vague terms, or whatever. I think I did tell you. She goes to that hospital for the third time. Again, nothing I could do about it. It's a double whammy, you understand? I'm already upset she's going to the mental hospital, but why does it have to be this place that she gets hurt in every time, in one way or another? Because that's the system, and I'm in hell, and she's in hell, and there you have it. I think she's there 2 days. She's gushing to me on the phone that the doctor has reduced her meds. It turns out that's a lie. My mom's confused. And I get a call from the hospital, the mental hospital, doing the right thing, being responsible. We just had to send your mom to the emergency. I said, why? And they told me what had happened. And it's like a suspected seizure or something, whatever. So I wind up talking to that regular hospital that she'd been in the last time she'd stayed there, when the doctor she'd gone in had put her on Haldol. Okay, so she'd already been in this hospital before, from this mental hospital. I'm talking to the emergency nurse, whatever. And now I have a chance to say, what is my mother on? What medication? Because my mom wasn't being clear with me, and she was just gushing that it was reduced. It's all bullshit. And when I ever heard Thorazine, I'm like, she didn't tell me she was on Thorazine. Well, how much is she on? And it was, I can't remember now, but it was this much, and then as needed at night at the staff's discretion. Sick. To put my elderly mom, who you've never met in your life. Because every time she goes in this hospital, she does get a different psych doctor. Unlike that other hospital where I requested a different doctor and can't even get a different social worker, let alone a different doctor, than the ones who had just discharged her in the same condition after she spent nearly a month in there, and then I have to deal with it, and she's back in the same hospital because I'm in hell. Like I said, one or the other. This time it's up to fate. I said usually when I say two, and they exhaust all options, and then they look at those two. They ask me which is the lesser of two evils. This time I'm leaving it up to fate because I don't even know. I didn't want it. I just left it up to fate. I did buy her time, because if I say don't look at those, they're going to look at it. That did buy her some time. Probably because in the end it's going to be one of those two that it always is. That's what I mean by buying her time. But now they have to spend all that time calling everywhere else in Massachusetts because they respect the family member saying that. That's all I did was buy her some time. Last time she was at the regular hospital 4 days, and she wanted to be sent to that other. And I said I was told she wouldn't be sent there, and he's like, we have to take the open bed, and they're the only ones that have the open bed. We searched everywhere else, and they're the only ones. And tough shit, Laura. That's what I have to do. always educating the church woman. She said, but you could just say you don't want her sent there. No, it doesn't work that way. It's a suggestion only. If push comes to shove, she can't just spend her life in the regular hospital. They have to take the open bed, even if it's in a hospital that I hate. And begged them not to send her to. On more than one occasion. Anyway, back to when she ever told me she was on Thorazine, I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I said to the nurse, I didn't care. I was like, you know, she's never been on Thorazine in her life. She could have easily had that seizure from that brand new medication. And the nurse says that, yeah, we don't know, but you're right, it could be that. At least she acknowledged it. No, it's just a coincidence, right? Everything's a coincidence. So then, I already told you this, but so what? She stays at the regular hospital for 4 days, which they get stabilized, has no more seizures, she's fine, blah, 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 whatever. Gets sent back to that same hospital, because that's what they have to do once she's cleared, and then 8 hours later, literally, and I'm not even told this time by that staff, I have to, not even told. I don't know if I got called by the regular hospital or... No, I know what it is. I think the staff didn't tell me, and I got called by the regular hospital that, oh, your mom's here or something. I'm like, what do you mean? Yeah, that's what happened. I was giving my mom a chance to readjust again. She hates the place. Okay, and I wasn't gonna, if she had just got there, I wasn't gonna call. I'm assuming she's there and she's fine. I get a call from the regular hospital, your mom's back here, and I'm like, why didn't those motherfuckers call me like they did the last time, you know? And then I said point blank when I got to talk to case man and all inside, I'm like, you can't send her back there, oh my God, and they agreed. I'm like, that's ridiculous. At least they respected me. They agreed. They're like, we can't send her back there. She keeps winding up back in our hospital. It's ridiculous. And she wound up spending a long time at this regular hospital. She was so much better off. I felt so relieved she's not in this motherfucking hellhole. She gets sent back and 8 hours later she's back in the regular hospital. I mean, that's something wrong there. Serious concerns on my part. And they respected me. They felt like that too. They're like, you're right, we can't send her back there. We're going to keep her here. And they kept her there for a long time. And then in the end, she was acting out and refusing to take her meds, and they had to do what's called what's it called? A Richard, or I don't know, whatever it was called. And that was just so, but it's still, they weren't invoking the healthcare proxy. They weren't declaring her incompetent, but they were doing whatever had to be done so that they could, she was refusing her meds, and if she was never going to get out of there. And the amazing, amazing thing happened. She was refusing her meds, she was never going to get out of there. They were looking around for any other place except for that place because they agreed with me. We're not going to keep sending her there. They respected me. You can't do it. And of course I told them the history of all the other 2 times what had happened. You can't send her there, please. And you got to wake up. You just sent her back and 8 hours later she's back with you again. There's something wrong. She was fine with you for 4 days. You send her there and she's already back with you. They agreed. But they kept her for a long time, did all kinds of tests, this, that, whatever. And then in the end, they had exhausted all options. They had looked around and nobody had an open bed. And I had to hear them say, we're sending her back to that place. Laura, we don't have a choice. We can't justify any longer keeping her here. And I cried, and they said, we looked everywhere. There was no open beds anywhere. And I cried that they were sending her back there after she had been fine in there. And they had, once they could force her to take her meds without declaring her incompetent, I guess. However it worked. They didn't invoke that. I don't know what they did, but they were able to sneak meds into her and this, that, or whatever. So, and they did all kinds of tests on her, but I just felt she's safe in there. She's not in that regular hospital. I can rejoice. In the end, they were ready to send her back there, and I was upset as hell. And they were like, so I went to go visit my mom. They wanted her to take this test or whatever. I went and visited her, and I said, Mama, you got to take your meds. And I convinced her to start taking her meds. And in the end, one psych doctor or crisis doctor, whatever, one person, I think one psych doctor she saw, had said she needed to go back to that mental hospital. But after I visited her and I convinced her to take her meds and to take that test, and she felt good that it cost me $100 to visit her, but I did it, and a miracle happened. They reevaluated her and let her come home. It was amazing. But oh, what a different outcome would have been if she had stayed in there. You get it? So we got a little, just a gift from heaven that she wound up in that regular hospital, and they respected me. And once she was sent back once and back with them again, they're like, no, you're right, we're not giving her to that hospital again. And I was all prepared for her to go back. There was nothing I could do. And they looked around and they spent a long time trying to find not one damn hospital with an open bed. That's so telling in of itself. In Massachusetts, they can never find hospitals with open beds except for these shitholes, the two that I hate, you know, and my mom hates. And she came home. I'm sorry, she came home, but didn't go to her apartment. She came in to recuperate here with me. Okay. She came to recuperate here with me. Then I think wound up being the emergency with the she wound up having the gallbladder surgery. And then I offered, in lieu of her going into a nursing home after she had the gallbladder surgery, because that's what they were suggesting, to do rehab in a nursing home or whatever, I wanted her local, and they would have had to do her far away for me to get to. And I asked if is it possible she can just be here with me, and I have that walker from when I broke my foot and said whatever, and they allowed that. But unfortunately, for whatever reason, and it had nothing to do with me, believe me, I was treating my mom, I was so good with her and so gentle and everything, but for whatever reason, she got tired of just being here, and I had to put my foot down and be like, you are not supposed to leave the house, you're here in lieu of being in a nursing home, respect that, Mom, I'm bored, and then she was being obstinate and stubborn and not wanting to do her rehab and not wanting to this and that or whatever. Remember, we had home nurses coming all the time. I get all the sequence of events. I can't really do that in videos, but I have it all. The awful time where she thought she was going to go visit her friend in the nursing home far, far away. As I told you, I've gone with her a few times, and she thought they were going to hire her as a singer, and you know, and it would have been a very bad day, and I was in direct, you know, for talking to her for a while, contact with her DMH worker and saying what was going on. this is what all led up to the DMH workers suggesting, because, you know, she winds up in these hospitals and they don't help and all this crap and needs to be driven to all this crap, and he suggested these people, and I was all on board. But did I really understand it? No. Did my mom? No. We certainly never expected in a million years what would come a few months down the line. Trish woman called me earlier, but it showed up on the TV, and then I went to listen to the voicemail. There was none. So if you're not going to bother to leave me a voicemail, it's not important enough as far as I'm concerned for me to call you back. Because for all you know, I don't even know that you called. See? If someone doesn't leave me a voicemail, then they don't really care enough. It's not important. Should I ask if I have heard from my mom? No, I haven't heard a peep. I already know what these fuckers are doing and saying behind this. I already know. There's no way they're not. And I can't fight them unless somebody helps me. It's just sick. Huge part of me wants to just give up. And what does it mean that my mom hasn't contacted me at all? Your guess is as good as mine. And don't say she doesn't have my number. When she will always, she'll ask the nurse, she'll say, can you get me my daughter's number? And they have it, so it's on the healthcare proxy. Haven't heard a peep from my mom. Surprised the phone hasn't been ringing. Usually I get so many telemarketing calls. Of course, I told you about that other video. In the other video, I'm so mad at Comcast. I haven't heard from Comcast. Of course not. But I can't waste time doing videos anymore. I have to clean. You know, I'm gonna wind up having to shovel. Can you imagine if this freezes? And we're not expecting freeze, though. I'm not going out shoveling in the dark. I'll just shovel in the morning. if I'm not able to shovel, then, you know, last time she had to cancel. The contractor couldn't come because when we had those days where it was solid ice, and you know, the driveway solid ice, I had nothing I could do, and she didn't want to park on the street, so. The church woman called on the phone where I played you that message in the video that I have on my phone, you know. Should come no surprise to any of you that I didn't watch the fucking Bachelor last night, even though I've been watching it every week. That's the last fucking shit I'm gonna watch when I'm feeling like this, you know. Oh my God.